I'm going to be rebuilding the New York Giants because Daniel Jones is the highest paid QB4 of all time. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys like and or subscribe. Let's see if we can get 100 likes on this video. I would appreciate that. And as you can see here, we are on week 12 here to face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We are 2-8. All the other records aren't necessarily correct because I'm playing on offline. I just find it better, but I did get the New York Giants record correct, and the Giants will be picking up a QB. So of course we will be moving on from Daniel Jones in this video, and we will have the Italian Mafia man himself, Tommy DeVito, as our QB1. We got Malik Neighbors, who EA recently gave superstar development to, so that's awesome. Wan'Dale Robinson, Darius Slayton, Devin Singletary. Atrocious offensive line. Can't believe Evan Neal was a first-round pick. It seems like a good pick at the time, but he's just been straight awful ever since. Defensively, though, this is what we got. I'm not going to change the overall defensive scheme or offensive scheme just yet, but I probably will change into a 3-4. I mean a 4-3, because 4-3s are just better in the simulation. Why is Deonte Banks the DB number 4 here? I'm going to definitely move him up there. And then Drew Phillips, let's move him up as well. But this is what we got going on. And of course, again, the playbooks are just going to stay the same, so that way I can tank. I forced the 2-8 record for the Giants, but I'm just going to let the AI determine the rest of our season. So for now, let's see what we have for the players ready to negotiate. We have 54 million. Darius Slayton doesn't want to be here. Azeez Ojulari is already here. Honestly, that's not even a bad shout, especially for how cheap the contract is. Even if he's just depth piece, that's honestly not bad. I'm going to sign that. He's going to stay with the team. And then Adoree Jackson, I honestly just don't want. Isaiah Simmons just doesn't have an interest. All these other extras here, Tommy DeVito are goats. I probably won't resign. All these other guys don't really want. Evan Neal, I'm not going to accept that option. You can just straight up walk. Then Kayvon Thibodeau, I probably won't accept his option because I'd rather just pay him his contract so that we can get some money. Sure, he's not as good as a lot of people think he is in real life, but he can have some development. He can develop for the Giants in real life. And in Madden, he's young. He has star development. We can work with something there. So I'm not going to accept his option. I'd rather just give him his contract in the next season. But for now, let's move into the playoffs. And here we are in the playoffs, and we go 2-15. We don't win a single game after our 2-8 start in this simulation. That is awful. Stats and awards, Daniel Jones here. Of course, we have Tommy DeVito as well. He had 7 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. Obviously, this isn't Daniel Jones' stats in real life, but the worst offense in the NFL, and you chose not to pay Barkley. And then 25th best defense. Devin Singletary, 3.5 per carry, 3 fumbles, 9 touchdowns. Not a good season. Malik Neighbors, 3 touchdowns, 900 yards. Obviously, it's different in real life, but he's just going to be carrying this offense for the rest of the rebuild. Defensively, Bobby Okereke here with 15 tackles, not 115, then 97 for Micah McFadden, tackles for a loss, 14 for Dexter Lawrence, 11 for Brian Burns, and Elijah Chapman, I don't know who that is, honestly, and then sacks, 6 for Dexter Lawrence, 5.5 for Chapman, 5 for Brian Burns. Is Thibodeau not getting the reps there? Interceptions, 5 for Okereke, 4 for Drew Phillips, and then deflections, 13 for Okereke, 7 for Drew Phillips, and then here for the safeties, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. And the Bills win their first ever Super Bowl over the Lions. This would feed families. If we had a Bills versus Lions Super Bowl, dude, this would feed generations. Both the teams haven't got a Super Bowl win yet. It would be the Lions' first time appearing in a Super Bowl. That would be a legendary Super Bowl if we got that in real life. Josh Allen wins the Super Bowl MVP. Patrick Mahomes wins the league MVP here. Amon-Ra and Aiden Hutchinson get offensive and defensive player of the year. No awards here for the Giants. In the NFC East, Bobby Wagner, Jamison Crowder, Cornelius Lucas, and then Brandon Graham, Darius Slay, Lane Johnson, and Shelby Harris all retire. For the team upgrades, offensively, we look the exact same. Defensively, we look a little bit different. Brian Burns here has a superstar X Factor, and Bobby Okereke here has superstar development. That's nice to see, and Tyler Nubin comes with star development. So let's see what we have in the re-signings. Pretty sure I don't want anything. And for the re-signings, I'm not going to accept the option for Thibodeau. I'd rather just, again, give him his contract. Slayton doesn't want to be here. Adoree Jackson, I don't want Evan Neal, Isaiah Simmons, Pinnock, and all these other guys. Mostly just don't want to be here. I wouldn't want to play for the Giants either. All these other guys, I'm just going to let all those guys walk. Drew Lockett included, along with our GOAT, Tommy DeVito. Let's move into free agency. Okay, so not the best free agency, but we needed something, and a lot of people didn't have interest with coming to the Giants, of course. We got Ernest Jones on a 6-year deal. Paid a little bit too much for him, but he's going to pair with Bobby Okereke, especially whenever I move over into my 4-3 defense. Then I also have Cam Akers because, of course, Devin Singletary did atrocious for us in simulation. Then I got Mecole Hardman just as a one-year filler deal. And we have the #1 overall pick in the draft. Absolute W. We got 2 top receivers on the board. Then there's a bunch of QBs here, but they're not worth the overall first #1 overall pick here. I mean, there's a round 1 guy all the way down here. Vince Nugget. Oh my gosh. I have to have him because of the name. Elite strength, elite throw power, not athletic. C awareness. Really? And this guy is the round 1 talent compared to the top 5 guy here. Summers. Darren Summers here. Is that Darren? Not Darren. My bad. Darren Summers, spelled in a weird way. Ole Miss, 6'1", 223 scrambler, and he only has decent speed as he runs a 4.83 as a scrambler. Great acceleration, great throw power, great strength. Honestly, looks better than the other guy. F injury. I don't care. I might just pull the trigger on this guy anyways, but the receivers on the board, let's see those guys. And Barry McNeil here out of Clemson, 6'3", 220, elite strength, decent speed, decent acceleration. Looks very good in his skill-wise, but I don't really like the decent speed thing. I might just pull the trigger and just completely ignore Nugget here and go with, even though he's a lesser talent and he may have a lesser overall, he may have a higher dev trait. You don't know. The randomize. Darren Summers here. I'm not gonna, this is the clear-cut guy in the draft, apparently, since he's the top 5 guy. I'm not gonna reach on another Daniel Jones that could or could not be the guy. So I'm gonna take him the top QB prospect, which is what the Giants should have done at the time. Should have taken other players than, of course, Daniel Jones. Darren Summers here, spelled in a weird way, out of Ole Miss. We're gonna pull the trigger on him anyways, even though he isn't the #1 guy. Ranked 49 in the class. All right. And okay, I just picked up the next Daniel Jones, so never mind. 88 acceleration, 79 speed, 93 throw power. All right, we're just gonna have to work with it. In round #2, picking up a new halfback, Terry Payton here, ranked 71 in the class, got him at 33. Hidden development, that's what I'm looking for out of Auburn. 5'9", 201, 93 speed, 90 acceleration. Skills look nice. He's gonna be the starting running back. And in round #3, I tried getting a new center, normal dev. I don't really care what his ranking is at this point or what his skills are. As soon as you get normal dev and an offensive lineman, just move on. Now, after the draft, Darren Summers here is a 73, 72 for Peyton, 71 for the center, 65 for this guy that I picked up in the 4th round. Then after that, I stopped drafting. The AI picked up this guy named Dunlap, normal development, not really a good draft, especially for having the #1 overall pick, a typical Giants draft. And I don't know if there's a single team in the entire league that would willingly take this awful contract for how bad. Yeah, nobody wants Daniel Jones, so how much of a penalty would I take just for cutting him? Because this is a realistic rebuild. Sure, I could trade him to another team, but realistically, I don't think anyone would willingly want to have that contract on their team. So Daniel Jones, how much is it going to take to get you off my team? 70 million, dude. 70 million in penalty. And then I'm going to get another 20 from taking out, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to take $40 million in dead cap. I'm going to have to do it. I don't want him on my team anymore. It's as simple as that. I'm not going to do anything with the guy. Darren Summers is the future of the team. Yes, please reorder my depth chart, please, AI, and it refuses to do it. Super annoying. Please reorder my depth chart. What? Do you want to order the entire depth chart? Confirm. And it doesn't let me do it. Oh my gosh. This is why I haven't had Andrew Thomas starting this entire time. And I can't even have my rookies in. Am I bugging? Is the game bugging? Okay, so the game just completely refuses to reorder my depth chart and I can't even see my rookies. Extremely frustrating from EA that this simple feature doesn't even work. But all right, I guess I'm going to have to manually input each and every one of my individual rookies on my team. Super annoying. Okay, so now it works after turning on auto for my draft class thing. Let me make sure it works. We have Cooper Rush as a quarterback. Confirm. Okay, now it works. That's super annoying. And I do not want Cooper Rush as my mentor QB. I want it as Andy Dalton, so that way he actually has a mentor tag. And now it doesn't work again unless you leave. Oh my gosh, you have to leave the auto thing. Oh my, that's so stupid. That's so dumb. I can't believe I'm wasting so much time on this, but I have to leave on auto reorder for depth chart, which I don't want to do because it's just going to constantly move my roster around to things that I don't want it to do. EA Sports, my favorite. Okay, so from the multiple technical difficulties from the multi-billion-dollar company from EA Sports, I finally figured it out. Now, this is the team moving into the next season. Super frustrating at trying to get all this figured out, but I finally got it. Hopefully, Darren Summers is a lot better than him being just a normal development, and hopefully I didn't just draft another Danny Dimes. But this is what we got going on for the team. Of course, I moved into a 4-3. Oh, well, that's not realistic, Vic. I don't care. This is my rebuild. This is how I'm going to do it, and Banks will be the starter here. How old is this guy named Flat? Cordell Flat, only 24. Got a really young secondary here. Got the specialist worked out. I'm going to move Peyton to the starting power back as well. Want everything working out there, and then everything else looks pretty good here. Summers has Malik Neighbors, and I tried to improve the offensive line. Not really helped, but either way, it is what it is for now. We might just have to thug it out for another season unless Summers is just a baller. And we are 4-3 at the midseason mark. Extremely surprising. Currently sitting at a 7 seed. Our defense is what's carrying us. Our rushing yards is 32nd in the NFL. Our points per game is only 20.7. But hey, 4-3, I'll take it. Scouting national focus needs to be interior offensive line here. And for the players ready to negotiate, Wan'Dale Robinson doesn't want to be here. If I overpay for him, it's still cheap. He's young. He has star development. He's the wide receiver 2 for us right now. He re-signs with the team for $10 million a year. Kayvon Thibodeau, it kind of depends how he performs this season. Kind of just don't even want to miss out on him. I think I'll just pay him anyways. $11 million a year. He re-signs with the team. He had a high interest anyways. And then Cordell Float here with 24 years old. I mean, even if he is bad, I don't really care if he doesn't have an interest with the team. He wants him in the Super Bowl chase, and he wants a better fit for the team. Even though I paid him more money, he says no. Evan Neal can just walk. Mecole Hardman can walk. Micah McFadden, all these other guys. I like Micah McFadden, but he just doesn't want to be with the team, so that makes sense. I wouldn't want to be here either. All these other extras, I'm just not interested in. Deonte Banks, I probably won't accept his option. I'd rather just pay him his contract straight up. So for now, let's see if we can even make the playoffs. We finished 8-9, missed the playoffs. Honestly, a lot better than I thought we would do. Our defensive rushing game is 32nd with Dexter Lawrence. That seems very unlikely to me. Our defense just completely collapsed. Our offense is 15th in the league for passing yards. Stats and awards. Summers, honestly, isn't that bad. That pass rating doesn't look great. 23rd offense in the NFL, 10th best defense. 19 interceptions, 27 touchdowns. It's his rookie season. Hopefully he can improve, but not the best rookie season, as you can see. Terry Payton, no fumbles, but 8 touchdowns, only 3.1 per carry. Hopefully he can improve as well. Malik Neighbors, 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns, carrying the team. Wan'Dale Robinson with 5 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. Mecole Hardman, 800 yards, 8 touchdowns. Bobby Okereke with 114 tackles for a loss, 13 for Chapman. I don't know how he's doing this. I don't even know who Chapman is, but sure. And 12 for Dexter Lawrence, 11 for Thibodeau, and 11 for Brian Burns. Sacks, 11.5 for Dexter Lawrence, 11.5 for Thibodeau, 7 for Brian Burns, 6 for Chapman. We got Thibodeau on a steal of a deal. He's performing great. And then interceptions, 2 for Banks and Anthony Johnson Jr. And then safeties on the team is 0. Defensive touchdowns is 0. And the Chiefs beat the Lions in the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes wins the Super Bowl MVP as the Lions lose 2 Super Bowls in a row. Brock Purdy wins the league MVP. Aiden Hutchinson back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year, and no awards here for the New York Giants. In the NFC East, Andy Dalton, Graham Gano, and Morgan Moses all retire. For the team upgrades, Peyton has superstar development. You love to see it. Absolutely love to see that. And then Summers goes up to a 79 overall. But of course, I don't have to pay him $40 million a year. Well, I kind of do, considering that I had to take a huge cap hit. Defensively speaking, though, we have Brian Burns was already an X factor, along with Okereke being a superstar. Thibodeau doesn't go up at all, which is a bit unfortunate. Anthony Johnson Jr. goes up to star development. My gosh, that is no disrespect to you, Anthony Johnson, but I don't think you should smile anymore, guy. That is not a good smile. Look at Deonte Banks. Take note of that. But anyone else here with the upgrades, I cannot see. Let's just move into the re-signing. For the re-signings, Flo, I'm going to give you another opportunity here to stay with this terrible organization. Please re-sign, and he does re-sign with the team. Deonte Banks just not going to accept the option, rather than pay him his money. Evan Neal, get your trash behind out of here. I had to censor what I was about to say there. Everyone else here, I'm just not interested in. Let's move into free agency with $70 million to spend. Brock Purdy is in free agency. He always is. It's a bit tempting, but I don't think I want to. After free agency, I got Leo Chenal here, and then I got Taylor Moton on a 1-year contract. So Leo is going to be a pass coverage linebacker, and then I'm going to move to Ernest Jones to right outside linebacker. And we have pick number 16 in the draft. A lot better than last year, as the Patriots go with the defensive end at the #1 overall pick. Offensive tackles are here on the board, and there's a safety that I may or may not need. Oh my gosh, I kind of want this now. Jonathan Brock out of Oklahoma. He's only 5'9". That kind of just makes me say no, so I'm just going to say no to that, actually. All these offensive tackles are looking really good, and we have Steven Rogers here out of Florida. I mean, great speed, solid strength, doesn't look anything impressive. My worry about picking the top offensive tackles here on the board is that they're being passed on for a reason. Elite speed, elite acceleration, good strength, great change of direction. He looks really good. He honestly does look really good. I kind of want to have him at right tackle. Moton's only on a 1-year deal. I'm going to pull the trigger on this. He's probably going to have normal development, and it's going to piss me off, but I'm going to do it anyways. True value 67 and normal development. Yep, that's what I thought. I promise I'm usually really good at drafting. I'm just buns today. Perfect for the Giants rebuild. Fits the theme exactly how I want it to. In round number 2, getting right guard Zach Knox here. Finally, we have a hit, ranked number 10 in the class. Picked him up at 48, hidden development, 92 strength as a rookie is amazing. 6'5", 337 power out of Alabama. In round number 3, getting another center here. He's ranked 76 in the class, got him at 80, and he has normal development, dude. Just throw him out at this point. My gosh, defensive tackle here, Damian Mobley, 6'6", almost 400 pounds out of Tulane, great strength, all I need to see. All I need to see, big boy here, normal development, I don't care. 92 strength, almost 400 pounds. I love picking up these guys, W. And another terrible Giants draft, offensive tackle, just not having a development, just completely ruined it for me. At least we had a nice guard. The center doesn't even matter. I stopped drafting after that. We're going to have Kirko Chains here be the mentor for Darren Summers here, so let's see how that works out. Now, this is the team after the draft. Looks like the AI picked up this guy named Nance, so sure, we're going to have him in the slot. Knox is a 76 overall. That's nice to see. We're going to have Peyton immediately starting with that superstar development, and then defensively looking into it. Anything else here that I really want to see offensively? Actually, I need to get Laurie here. He can be a backup left tackle for now until I make him the right tackle over Taylor Moton. And then everything else here, just honestly, it's the same. Don't really care about it. And we are 2-4. Typical Giants season here, ranked 14 in the conference. But hey, at least we're not the Cowboys where they're at the bottom of the conference. We're apparently better than the Commanders in every stat here, which is a bit surprising. Just the team in general is just trash. That's how it's supposed to be. And for the scouting national focus, do I even do receiver? Sure, let's just do tight end. I don't even know anymore. I'm just hoping my QB develops. That's all we can hope, especially with Giants fans hoping that DJ develops, which he never will. But Deontay Banks here for the re-signings. Let's just do a 4-year contract, super cheap. He re-signs on that. Bobby Okereke, I do want back, not for this long. I'll do a 2-year contract, and he says no to that after increasing the money. And then Chapman here, I don't mind back. I'm not paying you $15 million a year to be a second-string defensive tackle. You're smoking. Devin Singletary can leave. Then Ryan Runyan, I don't really care. I just don't want him on my team. He's not that good. Anthony Johnson Jr., Jalen Hyatt, don't really want either. Taylor Moton, I already got your replacement, even though he has normal development. And everyone else here, yeah, the team's just trash. We just have to pray for a Hail Mary at this point, which I'm honestly fine with. I will not fail this rebuild. You have my word. And my word may not mean much. We're 8-9. We missed the playoffs. Look at our team ranks. They're all in the reds. Yeah, go team. Stats and awards. Summers is improving, I guess. Not good. 28th offense, 10th best defense. 3,800 yards, 30 touchdowns, 1 less interception, more touchdowns, slightly better pass rating. He's improving, guys. Go team. Peyton, 1 fumble, 9 touchdowns, 3.3 per carry. Yay, superstar running back. Wan'Dale Robinson, 8 touchdowns, 977 yards. And then Nance doing pretty well. And then, wow, Theo Johnson's outperforming Malik Neighbors. That is sad. Bobby Okereke with 113 tackles, 107 for Leo. And then tackles for a loss, 15 for Brian Burns, 12 for Thibodeau, 11 for Lawrence, and then 10 for Leo. And then sacks, 12.5 for Thibodeau, 11.5 for Lawrence, 3 for Brian Burns. Interceptions, 3 for Tyler Nubin, 2 for Leo, 2 for Deontay Banks. And then the safeties on the team is 0 defensive touchdowns to 0. And the Packers beat the Steelers in the Super Bowl. Eric Stokes somehow wins the Super Bowl MVP. Not that valuable in real life, but sure, he's a Super Bowl MVP. Jalen Hurts wins the league MVP, and there are no awards here for the Giants again. In the NFC East, Kirk Cousins and Zach Martin both retire. And for the team upgrades, I can't really see anything on offense. Really, Peyton's not really progressing that well. Knox is just a normal development. I'm going to move my offensive tackle to right tackle now that Taylor Moton's not going to be re-signing. And defensively, don't see any upgrades for the defense either. We are cooked. And for the players ready to negotiate, Malik Neighbors, I'm going to accept his option. Bobby Okereke, again, I want him back. I'm willing to pay him a lot of money, just not for a long time. 2 years, let's increase his bonus up to $15 million a year, and he re-signs on that. I'm cool with that. Chapman can walk. Then Devin Singletary, all these other extras just don't really want. So I'm just going to walk to free agency with $109 million to spend. We better ball out. And that's exactly what we did. We balled out. We got Jair Alexander, 95 overall superstar X Factor, 2-year deal. We got Rashee Rice on a 6-year deal. We got Ronnie Stanley on a 1-year deal. I'm going to play him at right tackle. We got Tucker Kraft on a massive deal. We also got Jair Brown at free safety. So huge revamp on the team. Darren Summers just has to perform now. In the first round, picking up defensive tackle Dalvin Parrish here, ranked number 3 in the class. Picked him up at number 18. I finally start drafting well. 6'1", 300 pounds, hidden development out of Ohio State. 77 speed, 79 jumping, 84 acceleration, 92 strength. A's and B's across the board. He will replace Chapman. And in round number 2, getting a left guard. Now I'm balling out on drafting. Ranked 14 in the class. Got him at pick 50 here, hidden development left guard that will replace the one that walked to free agency. 88 strength, 320, 6'3", A's across the board. He looks great. And in round number 3, picking up another defensive tackle, Mac Russell here out of Florida State. 6'3", 300 pounds, hidden development, 86 strength. And he was ranked 95 in the class, got him at 82. But still, I'm now balling in these drafts. Now this is the team after the draft. Parrish is a 77, 75 for Borum here, and then 70 for Russell, and then after that I just stopped drafting. Now this is the team moving into the 4th and final year. I stacked it up as much as I could in free agency, and I definitely can't maintain all these contracts with the upcoming contracts I have with Malik Neighbors, Summers, and Peyton. Summers needs to develop this season. He has all the pieces around him. I have him a solid offensive line here, Ronnie Stanley, then I got a new offensive guard there. Got Tucker Kraft as well. He has every option he possibly can. This defense looks really, really good. A lot of depth at the defensive line. Really everything you could want. 89 overall team. I built much better teams than this that have gone 9-8 and missed the playoffs. Let's see how we do and just move into the playoffs. And here we are in the playoffs, making the playoffs at 13-4, and we don't even get home field advantage. You have to be kidding me. The Eagles take it at 13-4. We're coming off back-to-back losses to the Eagles and Cowboys. Of course, dude. We go 13-4, and we end up getting a 5 seed. That's ridiculous, dude. Here to face the 8-9 Panthers. Stats and awards. Summer finally has his breakout challenge. I always believed in him, not really. 6th best offense, 2nd best defense here. 11 interceptions, 34 touchdowns, 4,400 yards, 104 pass rating. Finally, he develops. Peyton here, 4.1 per carry, 13 touchdowns, 1 fumble. Great season from him. Only 217 attempts, though. Rashee Rice, 1,300 yards, 14 touchdowns. Wan'Dale Robinson, 6 touchdowns, 1,100 yards. Tucker Kraft, 800 yards, 3 touchdowns. Malik Neighbors not doing as well as I thought he would. And then defensively, Bobby Okereke with 107 tackles for a loss, 14 for Burns, 14 for Lawrence, 7 for Thibodeau, sacks 13 for Thibodeau, 11.5 for Burns, 8 for Parrish, the rookie, and then 7 for Dexter Lawrence. Interceptions 5 for Alexander, 4 for Phillips, and then deflections on the team, 11 for Leo, 9 for Phillips and Okereke, and then safeties on the team is 1 for Parrish, who's a great rookie, and then defensive touchdowns is 0. If we lose to the Panthers after having this good of a season, I'm going to be livid. We're way better than them in every way. We beat them 17-14 just barely, which is crazy. Should have smashed them. Let's see if we can beat the Eagles. We're both 13-4. I have the higher overall team. We have the same offense. I have a better defense. I have a higher overall team. This should be a win for us, but of course, it's Madden. Summers just had his breakout challenge. Let's see if he can handle the pressure against the divisional rival in the playoffs. Here we are versus the Eagles. They're going to open up with nothing. We're going to respond with 7. Nice start for the team. They're going to punt once again. That looks like a 3-and-out. 14-0 start, then 14-7.5. We're going to open up half with nothing. They're going to make it a 14-14 game. Now 21-14, 21-21. What are you doing? Please just score. Please just score a touchdown. Please don't do this to me. 24-21. We're going to go back, and then we're going to just go play by play here. Next play, and then just next play. Keep going. 33 seconds, 14 seconds. They're not going to be able to get it. They're going to kick the field goal. We are in overtime now. We get the ball. We're going, or can I see if we're going, please? We're driving down the field. We could make it. Yes, it will be a touchdown. They do get a chance now with the ball in the playoffs. The Eagles are driving down the field. Let's see if they're actually going to be able to make it, trying to take it play by play, and they will not be able to make it. 31-24 as your New York Giants will be moving on to not the Super Bowl, the conference championship. I got ahead of myself there, my bad. And here we are to face the 11-6 Bears. We're 4 overalls higher than them. Again, this should be a win, but you never know with Madden. Here we are in snowy Chicago in the Bears Stadium, Soldier Field. I'm surprised they haven't dropped a nuke on this stadium yet with how terrible it is, but 21-7 versus the Bears, 21-10, fourth quarter against the Bears, 28-10. Seems like we're going to run away with this thing, and we will. 28-17 against the Bears after dropping a nuclear comment on their stadium. And After that, we will be moving on to the Super Bowl. Let's see who we're going to go up against. I'm super surprised we made it this far. Summers just happened to develop at perfectly the right season with the super team. Going all in on the super team has worked out perfectly. The Indianapolis Colts are 14-3, even though we are, let me do quick math in my head, 6 overalls higher than them. Their defense isn't even close to ours. We're a 92 overall team across the board. We should be better than them and we should win this, but you never know with EA Sports. Team is looking great. Now Summers is up to an 86 overall without the boost, 90 with the boost, 92 overall team. Just that last push to really make this team great in the previous free agency is what made it happen here. Parrish only has star development, thought he would do better. Jair Brown and Drew Phillips both get superstar development. You love to see that, but this is the final push here for the Super Bowl. I promised you guys I would win it. Let's make that promise happen here. See if we can beat, I'm assuming, Anthony Richardson and the Indianapolis Colts. Here we are against the Indianapolis Colts. They're going to open up with 7. We're going to respond with 7. Nice start for both teams here. They're going to punt, and we're going to take the first lead of the game, 14-7 over the Colts, 21-7 in the fourth quarter, 28-7. We're going to run away with it here, and your New York Giants will be the Super Bowl champions out of pure luck here, out of pure just random luck. Number 1 and number 2. Number 1, Malik Neighbors. Number 2, Darren Summers will win this Super Bowl. A lot of people may have questioned the Darren Summers pick on draft night, but it panned out well, unlike Danny Dimes, and your New York Giants will be your Super Bowl champions, and this will be a successful rebuild. Vikk is the best rebuilder ever. I'm kidding. That's obviously not true, but hey, I'll take a win when I can get one, and we're going to get one here with the New York Giants. Your Super Bowl MVP is Darren Summers here. Your league MVP is back-to-back Jalen Hurts here, and there are no other awards here for the New York Giants. So anyways, guys, apart from that, this is a successful rebuild. I thank you guys all for watching. Let me know which team down in the comments below you want me to rebuild next, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.